What's going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to my channel. Now I'm excited to show you a walkthrough of our current status here at phase 3 in East Boston. Behind me is our 9-unit development. This is the final phase. Phase 1 is to the left of me. That was 3 units. Phase 2 just completed 4 units. And then this is the last piece of the puzzle of this block development. So obviously, as you can see, we're framed out, windows are in. I want to talk to you about progress, some of the intentional decisions we made as we've continued to go through the framing phase, rough mechanicals are starting. So I'm going to give you guys those thoughts, how I'm thinking about this project, so you guys see exactly what's going into this thing. So with that, let's get at it. So before we actually enter into the building, one thing I want to point out about the exterior, you can see our wrapping is finished around the project. We're going to bring in our siding material. So we're going to be using a hardy board siding, which we do in a lot of our projects, obviously a very nice material. We're going to use a corrugated metal panel here as well. The exterior design is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to have like an industrial feel to it. Not a typical design at all. And I think it's going to help this building stand out. Other key details real quick, just pointing out, you can see our windows are all in. It's a full Pella window package. Again, you probably have seen me talk about this in the past, but I just believe in using top quality materials in our builds, right? So instead of going for the cheaper option, something for like an Anderson package, which you might see in a lot of new construction around the city for these kinds of price points, I decided to opt in, get the nicer window. These are beautiful Pellas. It's actually a custom wolf gray color from the exterior. You don't see that a lot. From a quality of the physical material perspective, these are the decisions we're making all the time in these projects to make sure we are delivering the best. So welcome to inside the units. And one of the things I want to talk about as our rough is going is how we actually value engineered a lot of the framing while we were finishing that scope up. So with the framing, what we do is we walk through with our contractors, our GC, our framer, and everything, and we want to make sure we're optimizing for the layout and really making sure we're taking advantage of every single nook possible. So, for example, in a lot of these units in our common tub, which are on the corners, there's typically a lot of, and I'll show you guys as we go through, there's a lot of mechanical chases typically that get spec'd out by the architect. We don't always need these mechanical chases to be as thick, so we're able to compress some of these mechanical chases so that we can get more space in our finished bathroom, and we can either give that dedicated space that we save to the bedroom that abuts it, either creating a bigger closet or just creating a bigger bedroom space. So that's one example. Another example is I walk back into the kitchen. We want to engineer how our kitchen is designed and how our kitchen is going to feel as compared to the original architectural plan. So for example, with this unit, as you walk in, one of the things that we changed versus the architectural plan is we're able to think of and design a larger island that we can place in here, because islands typically sell really well. Large islands do, they attract a lot of the end buyers. I personally love having a larger island in my kitchen. So by coming in, measuring that out with our framer, and now we're bringing in our cabinet guys, well, we're able to design larger islands. We're able to design better layouts in our kitchens. So our kitchens, for example, we have framing that was spec'd out, such as these walls here to encapsulate the kitchen. Some of these we can actually get rid of, show exposed panels too. So all these little items, we're kind of going back and forth between framer, general contractor. We're looping in our cabinet vendor guy and really optimizing for that finished layout. Another thing too, you'll see here in the rear, this is the master closet, right? So this master closet originally was a lot smaller, but because the reason for that was the coat closet that was spec'd out was a little too deep, and it didn't need to be as deep. So we were able to push that coat closet to a standard depth, and now we were able to generate a large, huge walk-in closet that is super rare in the city, right? And that is a massive, massive selling factor, right? Is being able to create a 20-30% bigger walk-in closet that it's absolutely going to wow buyers as they walk in. Another quick example as we walk into another part of the building, and I want to show you some adjustments, is this den for this one bedroom. So this is a one bed, and behind me was the original den. Now the den wall was actually spec'd out to be about 1/2 foot more inwards to give it a little bit more depth. But it didn't really add that much value to the den. It was already pretty big, as you can see from the back. You can already fit an office, desk, chair, all that very comfortably. But what we noticed was when we walked through, it was taking space away from our actual living and kitchen area. So what we decided is again, because this was a non-load bearing wall, you can easily adjust it. So we adjusted this wall over approximately 6 inches. And again, you might think 6 inches isn't a huge deal, but just moving that over a little bit now creates a lot better of a flow now on our kitchen wall, which bleeds into our living room wall. So again, these small little adjustments really make, especially in 800, 900, 1,000 square foot units, can really make a big difference on how the finished product ultimately feels and lives. Now, as you can kind of see too in the background, where we're at right now once we finished all of our framing is mechanicals are now going. And with mechanicals in this kind of size project, everything's already been spec'd out in terms of the details, right? So for example, our electricians know the exact details we want, from recessed light plans to the details such as the under cabinet lighting, the toe kick lighting in the kitchens, backlit niches in the showers, whether we want backlit mirrors in the bathroom or whether we want over the vanity light fixtures. All these details are already spec'd out. The electrician already knows exactly what they need to do. Now it's up to us to dictate some of the smaller details, right? For example, where our headboard outlets getting placed in the bedrooms, where we're gonna have Ethernet and cable wires come through in the living room and all the different bedrooms. So there's still some final details to work through. But again, for the most part, all the big stuff, they already know. They can come in and start working through everything. One other design thing I wanted to mention too that is not necessarily cemented and that we do work with our designers on site is stuff like kitchen and bathroom layouts. And specifically in something like this bathroom, you can see we actually have a very long wall for a vanity, initially spec'd out to be about over 72 inches. And here's the thing, with something like a condo like here, we don't really need a vanity like that. Like a long 72 wouldn't really help. So what we do is we do bring our design professionals, right? And we come up with better designs that would suit the buyer needs better. So instead of doing a super long vanity, we're gonna do a 60 vanity, and then what we'll do is custom build 2 tall linens closets. Would actually be a better just use of space, give the buyer more value in terms of storage, being able to put in towels, any other accessories, as opposed to having a super wide vanity that was initially spec'd out on the plans. So that's what we got going on here. I know there's a lot going on on site while we were filming, and it was a lot of motion going on. But I think the key points that I wanted to share with you are these, right? Is a lot of these design features that we talked to, especially in the mechanical side, they do get spec'd out front, but we still absolutely want to bring in our own professionals once everything's framed out, so we can kind of maximize the use of each space, right? Whether it's a kitchen design where we could bring in, long, tall pantry cabinets to create a double pillar look, or the vanity design, kind of like you might have seen, where instead of a super wide vanity that doesn't really add value, we bring in 2 tall linens closets, and for everything from framing adjustments to create larger closets in the primaries. All these little details, they absolutely can get adjusted on site. So it is important that we're here all the time, really analyzing the site as it's getting built to make sure everything is getting maximized to 100%. So hopefully you guys got that out of the video. I'll keep doing more videos of this project. This is obviously a huge project. So I'll keep bringing you guys through here as progress goes on. I'll catch you guys on the next one.